Kimmi Scott and LaTisha Scott shocked everyone. Kimmi, who had always been the calm voice of reason, finally reached her breaking point. Fans who have followed Love and Marriage, Huntsville for years, know that Kimmi rarely lets her emotions control her, but when she does, it means the situation has gone way too far. And that is exactly what happened in her heated exchange with LaTisha. From the outside, it may have looked like a sudden blow-up, but if you've been paying attention, you know this tension has been brewing for months. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why Kimmi snapped, what it means for the rest of the cast, and why this fight might change everything going forward. So make sure you stay tuned until the very end, because this story has layers that you won't want to miss. When the show first started, Kimmi and LaTisha actually looked like they could be one of the strongest bonds on the cast. Both women carried themselves with confidence, supported their husbands, and appeared to value family above everything. Kimmi, married to Maurice Scott, came across as strong yet nurturing, someone who spoke her truth without sugarcoating it. LaTisha, married to Martell Scott, was portrayed as a devoted wife and mom who was trying to balance her marriage while stepping into her own independence. At first, their differences seemed like they could complement one another. Fans even thought they would be each other's support system when the inevitable reality TV storms came their way. But reality TV has a way of pulling back the curtain, and soon small cracks started to show. Kimmi began to notice things that didn't sit well with her. A dismissive comment here, a subtle dig there, and choices LaTisha made that Kimmi didn't agree with. They weren't full-on betrayals at first. They were the kind of tiny things you might let slide in everyday friendships. But when you're filming a show where every single word, look, and gesture gets magnified by cameras, even the smallest things start to pile up. And Kimmi, being the perceptive person she is, noticed them all. LaTisha, on the other hand, didn't really recognize how these things were building in Kimmi's mind. She saw them as harmless. But for Kimmi, they were little seeds of mistrust. And just like that, the foundation of their friendship started to weaken. Things escalated behind the scenes, too. According to many insiders, and even things hinted at. On social media, LaTisha had a habit of repeating private conversations. It may not have been intentional, but when Kimmi told her something in confidence and later heard those same words floating around in cast discussions, she felt betrayed. To Kimmi, that was crossing a line. A true friend keeps your secrets safe, especially when cameras are watching and everyone's words can become a headline. The fact that LaTisha allowed those private comments to become public gave Kimmi another reason to build resentment. She might not have called it out right away, but she remembered every single moment. And trust me, when Kimmi remembers something, it doesn't just fade away. It lingers until the right moment pushes her to speak out. Now, add social media into the mix and everything got messier. Fans noticed cryptic posts and shady captions from both sides. Every emoji, every hashtag, every like became part of the feud. Team Kimmi and Team LaTisha started forming online. People began dissecting their body language, their choice of words in interviews, and even who they were standing next to in group photos. And once the fans pick up on something, you know it only fuels the drama even more. Kimmi's supporters praised her for being straightforward and bold. LaTisha's fans claimed Kimmi was too harsh and always trying to paint LaTisha in a bad light. The cast itself started feeling the divide. Conversations that once felt casual now carried an unspoken tension, and alliances were shifting behind closed doors. The actual breaking point came during what should have been a lighthearted scene. A simple comment from LaTisha triggered months of bottled-up frustration in Kimmi. Without hesitation, Kimmi snapped. Her voice was sharp, her words carried weight, and everyone in the room knew this wasn't about just one comment. This was about months of trust being broken, months of miscommunication, months of Kimmi feeling like her loyalty had been taken for granted. When Kimmi told LaTisha, "You crossed the line," it wasn't just about that moment, it was about history. Fans watching instantly knew they were witnessing a turning point. LaTisha's reaction told another story. At first, she looked shocked. Her expression shifted between disbelief and defensiveness, like she didn't fully understand how deep this had cut Kimmi. She tried to explain herself, but the words stumbled out. And with every attempt, it was clear that she was struggling to close the gap between her intention and Kimmi's perception. To LaTisha, maybe these were minor things. But to Kimmi, it was a pattern of disrespect and betrayal. And the silence that followed Kimmi's words made it even more powerful. Maurice Scott sat quietly, watching his wife finally let everything out. Marceau looked uneasy, knowing that his wife was now on the receiving end of Kimmi's fire. Even Melody's Shari and Martell Holt, who have had their own share of drama with the Scotts, were taken aback. The energy in the room shifted completely, and for a few moments, no one dared to move. What made this moment hit even harder was how raw it felt. Reality TV often gets accused of being scripted or staged, but nothing about Kimmi's outburst felt fake. Every word, every gesture, every pause was loaded with real emotion. This was not for ratings. This was personal. And that authenticity is why fans could not stop talking about it afterward. Clips of the confrontation started flooding social media. People broke it down frame by frame, analyzing Kimmi's tone, LaTisha's body language, and even the reactions of the other cast members. Twitter blew up. Instagram pages dedicated to the show reposted the scene dozens of times. TikTok edits and memes multiplied overnight. And the hashtags Team Kimmi, Team LaTisha were trending within hours. The aftermath wasn't just online, though. It bled into their real lives. Kimmi's reputation as someone who doesn't tolerate disrespect was reinforced. She became the symbol of strength for many viewers who felt she represented setting boundaries without backing down. For LaTisha, however, it was a lot harder. She faced backlash she wasn't prepared for. Suddenly, every post she made was seen as a response to the fight. Every interview was dissected. Every move she made was under scrutiny. Cast members who once stood by her side now seemed hesitant, unsure of how to navigate the new dynamic. Destiny Payton and Stormy Steele, who have had their own conflicts with other cast members, were forced to decide whether to lean toward Kimmi's straightforward approach or sympathize with LaTisha's struggle to explain herself. Professionally, both women also felt the effects. Kimmi's image as a strong, direct woman became an asset. Brands and appearances leaned into her boldness, seeing it as a quality that audiences respected. LaTisha, however, had to put in extra effort to reshape her image. She wanted people to see her as authentic and misunderstood rather than shady or manipulative. But in reality TV, perception is often more powerful than intention. And the perception now was that LaTisha had been exposed by Kimmi in a way she couldn't easily bounce back from. And here's where it gets even more interesting. This confrontation didn't just affect Kimmi and LaTisha. It had ripple effects across the entire cast. Melody's Shari, who has had her fair share of feuds with LaTisha, now had even more reason to keep her distance. Martell Holt, always in the middle of one controversy or another, saw this as another opportunity to stir the pot. Marceau had to play damage control for LaTisha while also protecting his own image. And Maurice quietly supported Kimmi, knowing she had every right to speak her truth, but also aware of the storm it had unleashed. By now, you can see why this fight became one of the defining moments of the season. It wasn't just about a comment. It wasn't just about two women disagreeing. It was about months of unspoken frustrations, broken trust, and the reality that sometimes friendships can't survive the spotlight. But the biggest question fans are asking is this: where do Kimmi and LaTisha go from here? Can they rebuild, or has this moment permanently changed their relationship? That's why you need to stick with this video until the end, because the fallout doesn't stop here. The way this plays out in the next episodes could completely reshape the dynamics of the cast. And trust me, the alliances, the shade, and the unexpected twists are only going to get bigger from here.